Hi, welcome back to the AMACS virtual classroom. This video we're going to talk about program planning. So initially when you're actually looking at establishing your program and the types of things you need to think about and potentially document. So probably the first thing that we look at, and obviously there's the template that you can download. So download the AMACS program plan example, and if you follow through the headings and the examples put out there, you'll find this a pretty simple and straightforward process. So the first part there is your program overview or a description. So essentially, who is this program for? What will they learn, and what are the goals and objectives of your program? So for example, to be specific here, I might have a 6-week women's self-defense program specifically targeted at women with little or no previous martial arts or self-defense experience. So that's my program. Then I'll come down to the actual program plan itself. So how long is my program? So is it a 6-week program, 10-week program, whatever? How many sessions does it consist of, and what is the duration of each of those sessions? So in the example provided, we've got a 6-week program, consists of 6 one-hour individual sessions. The next thing to look at is what resources and equipment will you need? So at this stage, we're still looking at a broad level. So we're not looking at an individual session. We're looking broadly, if I'm going to run a 6-week self-defense program for women, what am I actually going to need? So this will be things like I need to have a first aid kit. Obviously, I need a venue. Where am I going to run this from? Do I need, depending on have a think about what you're going to be doing, will I need mats for the floor? Is it going to be all stand up? So maybe that's not a consideration. But yeah, essentially first aid kit, a mobile phone in case of emergencies. Perhaps if we're doing some kicking and striking drills, well then I'm going to need maybe focus mitts or target shields, kick shields, this sort of stuff. If we're doing repetitive striking drills, do we need gloves? Do I provide them? Do the participants have to provide them? So these sorts of things you're going to think about and start to put in your program overview. Resources and equipment, what will you need? The next thing is then actually looking at your program overview, the program itself. So if I'm running 6 one-hour sessions, what's the progression from session 1 to session 6? What sorts of things am I going to be looking at doing? So certainly session 1, I'm going to be that's going to include some sort of an introduction and an overview of the program, so the participants will know what they can expect. I'll probably talk about self-defense and the law, so they understand their legal rights and what they can and can't do under certain legislation, depending on your state or territory that you're in. I'll probably introduce some basic striking drills and maybe some avoidance principles for session 1. So that's going to be my first 1-hour session. Then say by the time I get to session 6, that should look a little bit more advanced. So, maybe it will start with a review of last week's topics. We'll move into maybe some close grab type defenses. Essentially maybe some advanced striking drills. And I guess maybe some situational type drills. So we're going to set them up to, okay, you've been grabbed, whatever. We do a bit more scenario-based type stuff, and I'd finish with a wrap-up and a review and try and get some of their feedback on the overall program. So in that way, the program will actually have a bit of a progression from that level 1 as we step through 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for my 6 sessions. So that should be evident in your program. Now at this stage I haven't developed any individual sessions, as in right at 5 minutes into the session I'm going to do this, 15 minutes in I'm going to do that. I'm not worried about that at this stage. My program overview can then, or my program plan can then be shared with other instructors. Hey, I've developed this 6-week self-defense program. could you have a look? Do you think that the content's pretty good? Do you think the overall feel of it, will work? Is this something that would be attractive to this group of people? You can also then use it as a promotion or marketing tool. So you've developed this program, you can go out and promote it and market it to this group that you've designed it for. And certainly, sure, there's opportunity for customer feedback. Is this something that would interest you? I've got this program. Do you think this is something you would like to come and do? So it gives you the opportunity to get some feedback and maybe fine tune your program.